guaranteed. And that one pushes the lead up to 11. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They coming off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball. That cut down the lead. Now the defense does their part, got them the football back.
So now maybe with the touchdown they scored previously, plus their defense making that stand up and getting them the ball right back, momentum may be shifting in their favor.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Ryan on 2nd down. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Cliff Averill in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd down, Wilson steps away to his left. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jimmy Graham from 17 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Freeman. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it 2nd down. Ryan. Nowhere escape, and he goes down. Cliff Averill getting him once again, his third sack of the afternoon. So the D-line's going to spread out. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and this will be caught at the 30. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup there of 37. And that leads to an Atlanta 1st down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Ryan under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Michael Wilhoit from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And that'll get the deficit down to 15. All right, so it's getting late in this one. Now, you could argue that they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but they still face a pretty uphill battle.
Yeah, even with the field goal here, it's going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns now to get back in it. And that's going to be a tall order against this defense.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Vic Beasley in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon. To throw is Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Cliff Averill. Who else? He's in there for his... Throwing on 3rd and long. Ryan. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. And in his 15th season, he's able to get this one to go. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So that gets you a bit closer, but clearly field goals are not going to be enough to win you the game, at least not this deep into it.
Agreed. If this were the second quarter, okay. But you're in the 4th now. You're still 2 scores down. I don't know that getting 3 points there is going to help you much at all.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Now Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Here's Wilson to throw. Here as he's taken down. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Here's John Ryan now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fourth down. Here's Ryan. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, It looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that and this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is back to a 5-point game. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Wilson wants to throw it. Flush to his right. It's caught outright by Graham. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a gain of 14 there, and that should be enough to get him home free.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Wilson to throw. Being chased out left. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Now third down and goal from the 1. He can run for it, and he will. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Partner, when it's a goal-to-go situation, if you're on the field on defense, you have to know that you may be called on to make a tackle at any time. Here, the cornerback does exactly that. Plays the run really well and makes a big play.
And the holder's going to keep it. He's going to try to run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Shift together here from the D-line. One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final